Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, we're going to take a look at an actor who I really feel like is just underrated. He's not criminally underrated, but he's underrated. There's only a few actors I consider criminally underrated. You guys know I consider Guy Pearce to be, a very criminally underrated actor. Paul Giamatti, he's underrated, but not criminally so. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at some fantastic movies starring Paul Giamatti. Starting with one, you got Tom Hanks and Emma Thompson in Saving Mr. Banks. This was a pretty decent movie. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was good acting. I pretty much enjoy anything with Tom Hanks in it. He's definitely one of my favorites. Saving Mr. Banks. This is a movie that I love. This movie. A lot of people had there was a lot of mixed reviews on this movie when it came out. I get it. But I think this 4K, in my opinion, I know people, have certain movies that they consider a reference disc, a disc that looks really good, that you can showcase the power of your system. This is a reference disc to me. It's a beautiful movie. Just the colors, just everything about this movie is just beautiful. It's not the best movie in the world, but it was a beautiful movie. There's certain movies that pop in my head that are just absolutely beautiful, especially on 4K. This is one of them, and that is Jungle Cruise. This is a really good family movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And I think it's a very beautiful movie. If you got the right screen and the right surround setup, this is a really good movie, definitely, to showcase the power of your system. Beautiful, beautiful movie. Well shot. I really like this movie. And we got Paul Giamatti here as a voice talent in Robots. He got a lot of small parts. He got some movies with bigger parts, but a lot of smaller parts. Saving Private Ryan. Look at this one. Ryan Gosling, George Clooney, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Paul Giamatti, Marissa Tomei, Jeffrey Wright, and Evan Rachel Wood. The Ides of March. This movie right here, this was a banger. Straight up. If you haven't seen this one, you need to check this one out. This is a really good movie here. He was also in The Hangover Part 2. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. These Amazing Spider-Man movies catch a lot of flack, but they were good too. They were really good. I know when we talk about Spider-Man movies, these always get skipped. The two Andrew Garfield movies always get skipped, and they were good. They were different. They was, coming off of the Tobey Maguire movies to these. It was different. Then the Tom Holland movies seem to get more shine than these two, even though it's more the Tom Holland movies. I get it. Tom Holland, his Spider-Man is directly connected to the MCU, so I get he just had more exposure as Spider-Man. He was the youngest actor to play Spider-Man. So I get it. But the Andrew Garfield movies, they're pretty good too, and they got their place in the Spider-Man universe. Definitely. And for me personally now, I like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, followed by the Andrew Garfield, then the Tom Holland. I don't put the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies above the Andrew Garfield movies. That's me though. Tom Holland, although he was a good Spider-Man, he was my least favorite Spider-Man. Most definitely my least favorite. Next up, we have Harrison Ford, Julia Ormond, and Greg Kinnear in Sabrina. I dug this one. This was good. I liked this movie. Harrison Ford is one of my favorites, so there it is. And then he was in Fred Claus. Let's see here. Big Fat Liar. This train wreck of a Planet of the Apes movie. And this is a movie that I saw when it first came out. This Planet of the Apes is the first attempt at rebooting Planet of the Apes. And I'll be honest with you, the very first time I saw this movie, I didn't think it was bad. But I watched it a couple more times and realized it really wasn't that good. Now, maybe I went too far by calling it a train wreck, but I don't know, man. It wasn't compared to the new stuff, the Matt Reeves stuff. It's just I don't know. That movie, I don't know. It didn't do good. It just wasn't a great Planet of the Apes movie. It wasn't the worst movie I ever saw, but it really wasn't. I can't count that among some of the best movies I ever saw. Next up, his fantastic performance in this movie. I think this is hands down his best performance. And I'll tell you the second one, as far as what's in my personal collection. This one right here, Paul Giamatti and Laura Linney and John Adams. His portrayal as John Adams, the second president of the United States, was incredible. He did a phenomenal job in this. Really did. This was an HBO miniseries, or should I say limited series. It was really, really good. It was fantastic. I enjoyed this a lot. John Adams. He did a fantastic job in that and showcased his acting ability. San Andreas, Russell Crowe and Renee Zellweger in The Cinderella Man. Shoot 'em up. Good action movie. Really good action movie. Not the best, but good. Good. And a very enjoyable watch. And yo, this right here, this is one of his best performances too. You got Straight Outta Compton. Listen, Straight Outta Compton, he played the hell out of Jerry Heller. I mean, yo, he played the shit out of Jerry Heller in this movie. I mean, he did his damn thing in this movie. I'm trying to tell you. Paul Giamatti, he was the right guy to pick to play Jerry Heller. I can't see anybody else pulling it off quite the way he did. Now, I'm not saying nobody else could have done it, but since he did do it, he did a great job. Period. Here's another one. Like I said, this guy is underrated because he got a lot of small roles, but the roles that he got there is bigger. He does a good job with them. And he did a great job in this one, The Illusionist. Really good movie. Good movie right here. You'll like this one. The Illusionist. Check this one out. Especially if you are an Edward Norton fan. Phew. And this one right here is one that I really think, now again, a lot of people, this is one of the M. Night Shyamalan movies that's a little bit on the weird side. I mean, I liked it, but he got, M. Night is one of them dudes where I'm 50-50 on his works. I like just as much as I dislike, but I think I probably like a little bit more than I dislike of his work. He got some weird ones out there, but he got some good ones. And this is one of the weird ones, and that's The Lady in the Water. But I did like Paul Giamatti's acting in this movie. He did a fantastic job. This movie was just on the weird side to me. This one, the other one, not The Happening. The Happening was actually pretty good. He had one, The Village, I think it's called. I got it over here somewhere. That one was kind of weird. He just got some weird ones, but he do got a lot of good ones too. But this one here, Paul Giamatti did a good job in this movie. The movie itself was a little bit on the weird side, but again, we're talking about Paul Giamatti here. He did a good job. Last but not least, he had a small role in this movie, but again, I'm bringing it up because he was in the movie. You got Samuel L. Jackson and Kevin Spacey in The Negotiator. A fine movie. An absolutely good movie. Just short of being a banger. Actually, this was a banger for its time. Actually, no, I take that back. This was a banger. Sam Jackson, Kevin Spacey, the whole cast. Everybody did their thing in this movie. This is a banger. The Negotiator. Well, that's everything starring Paul Giamatti. Definitely an underrated actor. Got some good stuff out there. Let's recap it. So we got The Negotiator, Lady in the Water, The Illusionist, Straight Outta Compton, Shoot 'em Up, Cinderella Man, San Andreas, John Adams, Mark Wahlberg's Planet of the Apes. Oh, shit. Big Fat Liar, Fred Claus, Sabrina. This is a really good one right here, guys. Especially if you're a Harrison Ford fan. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Garfield movies do have a rightful place in the Spider-Man universe. The Hangover Part 2. The Ides of March, you need to check this one out. Saving Private Ryan, no need to speak on this one. Y'all, everybody know what this is hitting on. Robots, this is a good animated movie. Again, if animated movies is your stick, you need to check this one out. It's really good. Jungle Cruise, if you got the right setup, this movie, you can consider this 4K a reference disc. Big D, this gets the Big D stamp of approval. Saving Mr. Banks. And that's everything, Paul Giamatti. I'll see you in the next one. The next one is Cuba Gooding Jr. He got some bangers.